This isn't gonna work well.
It's fun.
If you like talking about trains, you came to the right place. This is Track Smack. Hey, good morning, rail fans. Welcome to Track Smack. On this show, we talk about trains, model railroading, and model building in general. So if you're into that sort of thing, why not just subscribe? And then don't forget to push that little bell icon, boom, so you can catch future videos. Hey, welcome to the broadcast, everyone. Good morning and early Merry Christmas. Sorry about that little thing there at the beginning. Forgot I turned off the microphone, but it happened. So anyway, you know the way this show works. The first thing we do is we go over to chat and say good morning. Boom, over in chat. Good morning, everybody. Man, I've been monitoring chat since like 6 o'clock this morning. And specifically since about 6:30, and there are all kinds of people here. So I'm gonna go say good morning to some people. And if I miss you, it's because chat's flying by so fast, I can't even keep track of what's going on. But at the top of the list, Norman Rowe, good morning. Sparky 107 with a wrench, good morning. Train Guy 56, good morning. Ron Piskel, Cloverdale Rail, Marcel over there, good morning. Tam's Train World, boom. Hello, Tam's Train World. Flyboy 2610, Jeffrey Miller. Oh, Roy Smith at Panama, saying good morning over to you too. Warbonnet Trains is here. Jeff Allen's here. Mr. C, Mike, my friend with the stumps, boom, in chat. Good morning, sir. JC's Rip Track, Mike Heath, Doug Hallberg, blah. Everybody's here this morning. What an incredible lineup for today's topic. So today our topic is weathering, okay? And not just weathering rolling stock, just weathering in general. And two significant reasons why I wanted to bring that up. One, I just think it's appropriate since our good buddy Ron at Ron's Trains and Things has started the Down and Dirty Weathering Contest Part 2. And, you know, I think a lot of people want to get into that. But if you're like me, I've never weathered a freight car before. I just keep building structures and weathering them. Not so bad at weathering structures, I think. But, you know, when you think about it, you've got all this rolling stock on your layout, right? Even if you got like 10 cars, that's 10 models that you have to go through and weather. It's like 10 models. It's a lot. And, you know, you kind of get one shot at it. You take a brand new freight car, you weather it, it looks like crap. And you're like, well, I don't know what to do with that. We'll just say that one's a reject or something. So I thought today we would just talk a little bit about weathering stuff and see over in chat what you guys think about that, how you want to do it. Now, again, Ron over at Ron's Trains and Things, Bounce Over There, he's got a video talking about his contest. It was really big last year. A lot of people participated. And as I recall, our friend JC at JC's Rip Track won that one. If I said it wrong and I picked the wrong person, forgive me. It's a Saturday morning. But blah, 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 I say we go back over, boom, to chat. Good morning again, people in chat. What do you guys think? Wait a minute, time out, hold the phone. I see Ron Piskel, Joe G, Sparky 107. All these guys have a wrench next to their name. Oh my God, they know how to fix crap, don't they? Bah! Not really. That's not what the wrench is for. Those guys have wrenches. Those guys are our moderators. We really appreciate the effort of our moderators here on Track Smack because their job is to make sure we're having fun, keep the show moving, keep everybody on topic. And then, of course, they just sort of boot the naughty people out. They send you to San Quentin to hang out with Johnny Cash, who sings, I hear the whistle blowing, coming down the track. There you go. There's your Johnny Cash impression for the morning. So, hey, don't be naughty, people. It sucks when you do that. But still in chat, with those being the ground rules, what do you guys think? Anybody throwing anything in yet about weathering? So, well, there's a lot of people still checking in, apparently. 4 minutes into the broadcast, it's building, people. People are showing up here. Looking down through chat, we see if you want them distressed, loan them out for a while. Mike Heath is figuring out a way to make his cars look distressed. Just loan them to somebody else. It's like a rental car, right? You rent a rental car, you don't always treat it like you treat the car you actually drive. So if you want your cars all beat up, just loan them out to the community and see what you get back. Hey, that's a good one. I love it. Roy Smith in Panama saying he hasn't weathered rolling stock yet either. Boy, I think part of the problem with me is I never get to a point where I'm at least done laying my track work and stuff. So I feel like I'm going to spend some time weathering my rolling stock. But some of the stuff I've seen, like what I'm using in that thumbnail, pretty awesome. Looks pretty realistic. I can't wait to get to it. Sparky107 with a wrench says, I weather stuff. I just had a flood to do it. Boom. Sparky, that's dark humor, bro. Just leave all your model railroad stuff there and let a flood come through. And then when you dig it all out, boom, instant weathering. You can get a whole lot of cars done at once, I think, doing it that way. JC's Rip Track is saying, my channel wouldn't exist without the Down and Dirty weathering contest last year. And, it's pretty awesome that you participated in the contest, won the contest, and were able to parlay that into your own weathering channel with all kinds of great tips on weathering and stuff. So if you guys haven't been over there, check out JC. He is a guest judge this year. So those of you contributing to the contest over at Ron's place, at Ron's Trains and Things, he's going to be looking at your stuff. Suck up to him right now. Redbird Tony 2010. Tony, good morning, brother. Says, I have old Atlas rolling stock, so I'll practice first, then do important rolling stock. Hey, there's a tip for you. Back over to the main cam. Boom. Hey, I have a fireplace. I think if you want to practice, buy some piece of crap car off eBay for like $2. Boom, right? It doesn't matter if it runs well on your layout. Doesn't matter what kind of couplers you get or trucks or wheel sets or whatever. Just get the thing and just start weathering on it. It's already been suggested in chat. There's chalks, there's paints. I'll give you a little bit of my insight on it in just a minute. Before I look like an idiot in front of everybody, I want to see what everybody else says. See if I actually want to share my version with you. But that's a great place to start. And I don't believe this contest Ron's having, it matters what scale your car is. It doesn't have to fit on your layout. Hey, buy a Z-scale car, and because if they charge by the pound, that'll be cheaper. These are the jokes. Back over to chat. What else do we got? Doug Hallberg says, start off with some dull coat just to kill the shine. And that is another great point, I think, when it just comes to weathering in general, and that is this, especially stuff near a railroad, but if you drive down the average street, very few things are shiny. Cars, like automobiles, can be shiny if they're newer and they're washed and stuff, but buildings, rolling stock, even the rails on a real railroad, not so shiny except on the tops. So that is a very good opening tip, is to get rid of the shine, baby. Don't make it look like my chrome dome. Just get rid of the shine with some dull coat. Other ways of doing that, of course, is to thin out with alcohol some white paint. Very, very thin white paint, and airbrush that on there. Lots of techniques. And I'm sure you guys over in chat have some of those techniques to share with us. BNSF Northern Cali Train says, I'm still working on my weathering skills. Hey, join the club. Not everybody can be JC's Rip Track, We're just having a good time. I love this show. Hey, by the way, this show starts my weekend. Now, yesterday I had the day off work because basically I gave my job the finger for the day. I just said, I'm taking a day off. And I did some railroad stuff yesterday. Pretty excited about it. I'll share that with you later. Dean Danielson, my only weathering to date is on my face. Hey, Dean, look at this action, baby. Woo, I weather my face every day, and it gets more and more weathered. It's rich in detail, wouldn't you say? My mom used to say I've got a face made for radio. The voice works, face not so much. Still in chat, let's not talk about me anymore. although it is my show. Sparky107 with a wrench just disappeared off my chat. Well, Sparky, I think you had something good to say. Let's just go scroll back over there. Always working on the skills side of things, always getting better. You know something? I'm going to throw this out there too. Here's what I'd like. Here, I'm going over to the main cam right now because I get distracted. Here's what I'd like to see happen, all right? And again, I talk a lot about Ron at Ron's Trains and Things because me and Ron are buddies, okay? We got some stuff in the works we're going to do together. We're not necessarily sister channels, but maybe bro channels, if you will. Here's the thing about this contest, and I don't think anyone should just be afraid to enter because your skills suck. You know, I think what we do as a community, the best part of the community is you show what you have, what you can do, and let others in the community look at that and go, hey, that was pretty good. I wouldn't worry about that little chingadera or that little Knuten valve or whatever. That looks pretty good. And this community also has a way of suggesting ways that maybe you can add to what you've done. And then so your skills grow by sharing through the community, watching what other people are doing. Hey, listen, you guys know I make mistakes on the air all the time. I do that because that's the way the regular guy works. We make mistakes, we screw stuff up. But I want to encourage any of you to get a car, weather it, make a little video, boom, put it up there, and let's all take a look at it, for crying out loud. Skill level gets better with time. Everybody in the hobby started out with stuff that maybe they look back on now and go, what the hell was I thinking about? Boom, over in chat. Hey, Joe G with a wrench says, most of the time Alaska Railroad keeps their engines clean, so I'm going to do the same and not weather my engines. You freaking cheater. Hey, but I'll tell you, honestly, I watch a lot of BNSF stuff rambling by here in my area, which is why I bought a bunch of BNSF locomotives. And I got to tell you, with some exceptions, most of their mainline locomotives are just shiny and squeaky clean. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Now, I see some of their switchers and stuff, even stuff on the main line, but they're switching like local freight and stuff. Those can be pretty haggard and beat up. So at least it gives you an opportunity to say, this is prototypical, baby, because that's how they run. You feel me? Anyway, that's just what I do. I don't know. So, hey, good tip, Joe. Justin Johnson saying, I haven't tried weathering rail cars yet, but I have tried weathering buildings. And Justin, you and I have that in common. I don't have anything obviously out to show you now, but there's some stuff that I was able to do. Hey, here's the deal. I started watching videos before I even built a structure, okay, and saw some of the techniques. Then I had a structure and I had some paint and I weathered this son of a gun. And come the end of the day, my first job, I didn't think looked too bad, but about the fourth or fifth structure I weathered, I was starting to feel like a contender. I was a contender in the weathering, baby, because that's how I roll. Hey, I saw a chat scroll by while I was monologuing. It asked if I'm going to enter the contest. Well, here's the deal with entering that contest. And I would love to enter that contest and probably will, but I just need to dig out some time to do it. And I don't want to sound like the busiest man in the world, but I've certainly got freight cars, and now I know where they are. Well, sort of. Oh, sad news, sidebar. So I was over at my office where I have most of the railroad stuff, right? And I was looking for something, and a stack of boxes on the edge of a desk in my warehouse fell over. Guess what was in that box? My locomotives and a bunch of rail cars. I just left the box sitting down. I don't even want to look and see what I did to destroy my inventory of freight cars and stuff. I'll bet they're pretty weathered now, huh? Back in chat. To answer your question, I believe just to support the community, I'm going to enter that contest. I'm going to give it a shot, but I'll probably make a sidetracked episode from that because you need to make a 10 to 20 minute video. That's perfect for me. If I can get all my paints and all my crap out, then I'll weather a car, boom, and then I'll practice what I preach. So make that happen, people. We're still over in chat. We're going to see what else are people talking about. Well, hey, Snide Tripod says, hello from Alberta, Canada, eh? That's just how we Americans make fun of you Canadians. He says, I, last night, have been glued to it ever since. Okay, while I appreciate that dedication, brother, you need a life. We're not that good here. It's my railroad. Anyway, welcome to the community. Glad to have you on board. Containerman68, Roy H. says, I have some Bragdon chalks and pastels that I think I'll try weathering a car. Maybe I'll enter the contest. Roy H., don't leave me hanging, bro. If I'm going into the contest, you, sir, need to get out of that big-ass truck and make a video about weathering your freight car. Boom, there we go. Moving back over to chat, still in chat, because chat's fun, baby. Cloverdale Rail, Marcel says, I would find it tough to start defacing a $300 loco. So here's what you do, Marcel. You go buy a DC loco for 79 bucks. You put in a $39 decoder and you weather that bad boy. Oh, speaking of weathering, we're just going to move back over here to the main cam for a second. Boom. Speaking of weathering, like that's a random topic that just came up, right? You guys remember Ralph Renzetti, the Godfather? No, he's the Mud Father. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, back before all this craziness with my move started, he and I were talking about having him on this show because I sent a, I don't even remember what locomotive it was. It was a Santa Fe, Dash 8. I sent a Dash 8 up to him for weathering. And, you know, the man does some pretty good work with weathering. And I can't wait to run that on my railroad because especially in my new era, Santa Fe stuff that I see traveling down the real railroad right now, it's just all beat to crap and ugly and weathered. It looks really cool. So he did that for me for locomotive. I'm going to see if I can get him on an episode of Track Smack before this contest ends. Maybe in like another couple of weeks or so, 3 weeks. That way we can have a little bit more discussion of weathering as we continue this whole discussion about a guy who's got twice as many subscribers as me, and I'm just sitting here pushing his show. Let's push my show back, boom, over in chat. You know, there's two shows, people, where I just do whatever the hell I want to do, all right? One of them's this show. One of them is the Dirt Show on Thursday nights. They're my shows. I can do whatever I want, and as long as the Terriers are watching, I'm good with that. And then all of you beautiful people in chat. Sparky 107 with us, 107, the wrench says, Containerman 68 was just called out. Let's get ready to rumble, weathering style. What a community thing. The community needs to just make like 1,000 videos of weathering cars. And then we will never have to make another video about weathering a freight car. You could just watch it for days and it'll be completely exciting. I'll be there in spirit, if in nothing else. Trenton Lee, look at that. Boom. Plug in old JC. JC's rip track is why I started weathering. JC, look at that. You're having an impact on the community and you're just a great guy. Get over yourself. Grow a mohawk. It'll look good on you. Strolling back through, got a lot of people checking in again, saying hello. That is awesome. Good morning, Joel. How are you? Oh, what else you guys talking about relative to weathering? Hey, I just inhaled my own spit. I wish there was something I could Ooh, look at this going on back here. Look at this. Random lights behind me. That's awesome, isn't it? Not really. I got to really work on covering those windows up over there. Anyway, hey, let's go back to the main cam. Let's talk about me and my show for a minute. What do you guys think of the new green screen stuff? Isn't that pretty cool? I'm pretty excited. It's Christmas, so I've got the Christmas loop behind me, and that's what I have to say about that. You guys, gosh darn it, I forgot what I was going to say. Why did I come back to the main cam? I don't know. You guys, can you guys just handle the show for a while in chat? I seem to be losing my noggin over here. I have no clue what's going on. Containerman68, Roy H, still making it happen over in chat. I wonder if I could weather a certain white FHW car and not get yelled at from the producer. I'm not going to yell at you, and I'm a producer. Boom. Permission granted. Steve Arnold, I had the good fortune to run Santa Fe war bonnets when new and not weathered. I have a Santa Fe war bonnet. Haven't weathered it yet, but it's got sound. Ding, ding, ding. I love it. It's fun. Keep scrolling. All right, while you guys get caught up to me over in chat, I've got a little, some things that we're going to talk about. You know, Ron Strange and Things with his contest, his Down and Dirty Weathering contest, part 2, is one of the things kind of buzzing in the community right now. Bing, back over to chat. So, hey, there's people over there that are just saying how much they love the other shows we do. Norman Rowe is actually a moderator over there on the supposedly Dirt Chic Unscripted show. Scrolling back through, what do we guys got in the way of weathering? Okay. JC says, the first video that I put out with this channel outlines a process for weathering. It's more a process than specific techniques. So if you guys want a little brushing up, you can head over there, check that out, see what's happening. That ought to be fun. Still scrolling through. Joelle, I'm not certain where you're responding to, but I like hot is hot. That's not bad. Well, I'm sure you're just flirting with me right now. I'll try not to let Cindy know. Anyway, whatever. Roy H says he missed the Dirt Show on Thursday. Oh, that's no good. Joelle says, I love your wife's show. Boom. Thank you very much, Joelle. Hey, back on topic, because I tend to get us off topic, and my moderators, after the show, they just bitch slap me all the time. Train Guy 56, I took a Rock Island boxcar from original 1970s Bachman set and rubbed the paint off, and now it looks like an old Rock Island unpainted car. Okay, I'm kind of a goob on that then. I didn't know you could rub the paint off of one of the cars. Maybe in the 70s they painted. I thought they just molded that stuff in colored plastic. That's an interesting idea, because if you can rub the paint off, can't you just sort of acetone it off or isopropyl alcohol it off? That might be something to consider. Hey, look, what is this all about? Whoa, shameless plug. Links in the description if you want to buy some crap. Boom, back over to chat. I like to talk about stuff. You like to talk about stuff. And for some reason, my chat window is disappearing. Let's go back to chat. Where's my chat? Oh, there it was there, and then it went away. It's back. It's back. You guys mind if I just fart around with my chat window for a second here? I have no idea. YouTube is so ridiculous. I don't even know what to do about it. Oh, there it goes. Oh my gosh, people. What's a brother got to do to get a little chat happening over here? All right, I got lost. Where was I? Where'd we leave off? Flyboy2610's giving us a tip about weathering. For rust streaks, use oil paint in rusty colors. Let it dry completely. Then use a brush with some thinner to streak it down the side of a car. So on the subject of rust, I was at, I don't know, Michael's or someplace, and they had some Testors paints, and I found two colors of stain for modeling. Stain is what it was. Sort of that sort of bright orange rust and sort of a dark brown rust. I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff, but I did it because in the old switch junction, I had like a square water tower that fed the shade, hooked them up with water and stuff. So I wanted it to be rusty. So what I did is I took that stain, and really it is just a stain. I took it and I started brushing it on the rivets on this cast iron looking deal, up on the sides of it and kind of at the top. And it sort of ran down and it was collecting on some of the ribbing and stuff in the structure. And after it dried, it looked pretty good. It looked like rust. I was like, whoa, rust. But it was a little too pronounced. So I went through and I've got this, you guys have seen it and you'll see it again. I got this sort of dark gray-ish chalk paint. It's water soluble and blah, blah, blah. I use it for everything. I took it and I just started very lightly dry brushing down it, and it muted some of that rust a little bit. It took this black iron water tower and really made that black kind of faded. And, you know, come the end of the day, it may not have won a weathering contest, but every time I looked at it on my railroad, I was like, I'll take it. I'm proud of this. So the streaking with the rust, though, as you were saying, works pretty good. I think so. Little different when you get to a rail car, maybe. I don't know. Perhaps we've got some people in chat who can hook us up with that information. Dave Hussman, weathering should be era appropriate. If you are modeling 1920, then a 280 wouldn't be heavily weathered. If you're modeling 1960, then a GP7 wouldn't be heavily weathered. And, you know, that makes sense to me. How old are your freight cars? Because I kind of see like a lot of the shorter 40-foot cars and stuff running down the line that are just as old as sin. They're just so old and they look it. But then there's some longer freight cars, longer hoppers and stuff like that, that don't look so old. And I think that's part of an era. I don't know. I'm throwing that out there. But another thing, I wonder if somebody should check with Mr. Ron Marsh about his weathering contest. But I'm wondering if a spine car or a deep well car with a container on it, or a couple of them, counts. I'll bet it does, because that's another thing you get to do. If you're weathering a container that sits on a well car, you're kind of weathering a structure. Ooh, maybe that's a thought. Maybe weathering structures and weathering freight cars is the same basic understanding. I don't know. I'm making this crap up as I go. Hey, Joe G with a wrench. Talking to Roy H. LOL, it was one of those videos. I just went into my shed and started recording. Spur of the moment. Well, I love Joe G. Back over to chat. What else you guys got? Norman Rose says, Marklin of Sweden had a very easy technique for rusting cars recently. Super easy, super fast. Well, there's a tip for you. You can head over there and take a look at that. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? We'll let that get caught up for a minute. One of the things, though, that I just want to touch back on again and reiterate when we're talking about weathering stuff. Okay, you always run the risk that you're going to mess it up, but in most cases, at least the ones I can think of off the top of my head, you can go back and do it again. You can repaint the whole thing brand new and start over. You can take and touch up areas you don't quite like. I'll tell you the truth. There's a couple of my iconic videos that I watch would be Kathy Millett on her channel. Of course, everybody watches Luke Towan do stuff because the man is just amazing. But watch what they do. But then let's not set that standard that says I need it to look like that when I'm done. that's why people can't ever get out of the yard, as it were, as a model railroader. It's because they look at some of this stuff and they go, I can never do that. I can't pull that off. It's going to look stupid or whatever. And so what we do on this channel and as a community is encourage people, just set out and do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You take a freight car, you weather it, and it looks like crap. Well, maybe that's what it's supposed to look like, people. I don't see too many freight cars in the real world that don't look like crap, by the way. Matter of fact, the crappier they look, the more we look at it and go, ooh, weathering, right? So let's have some encouragement, people. Let's thumbs up ourselves and just get in there and make it happen. I hadn't weathered anything on any model anywhere in the history of my life when I set out to do some weathering. I take a $20 model, or even better, a model I scratch built. I think my very first structure was my depot for Switch Junction, and I started from scratch. I'd never done it before. I just watched a bunch of videos, and I started weathering it, and I ended up accidentally coming up with this look on it where it looks like the white paint has sort of been flaked off and the wood is exposed underneath it, like it's in bad need of a paint job. And I just shoved off and did it. So listen, you guys that are thinking about it but thinking you're not good enough, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I've never done a freight car. I'm going to give it a shot, and I have absolutely no hope of winning this contest. I don't think. I've seen some of what you guys can do with freight cars. So let's just shove off. Let's just do it as a community, and then we'll laugh about it later. It'll be fun. Boom, back over in chat. What do you guys think? Is that a great idea? Just shove off and do it. Just weather something, people. I'm looking down there. Don't leave me hanging, bros, because it gets awkward. Anyway, back over talking about what you guys are talking about. Ron Piskel's with a wrench has got a tip. Do not use acrylic over acrylic without a coat of dull coat lacquer between. Trust me on that one. Ron, I will trust you on that, but I need more details, bro. All right, don't just tell me no. Tell me why. Why can't I lacquer over lacquer? I'm sure there's a good reason for it. I'm not going to do it now that you brought that up. Thanks for that, by the way. Still moving along. Joe G saying Sparky 107 with a wrench is generous. They're like cars. Once they leave my house, they lose value and keep dropping. Oh, yeah, Joe G. But now I understand what you're talking about. Joe G's got his, I think it's Firehouse Whiskey detailing and stuff he does on freight cars. And you got to check that out. That you might pick up something from the Joe G. If nothing else, it's always good to have a friend who's a first responder. You never know when you're going to need him. Michael Brashears, covered hoppers in urea service, rust badly in short order. I hear they only use end-of-the-line cars because of this. You know, that's twice I've heard somebody talk about moving urea with a hopper over the railroad. Man, what happens if that train derails? Oh man, there's just pee everywhere. Oh, this is how we do it here on the broadcast, people. Hey, if you're going to get some freight cars, if you need to buy one and you don't want to go to the eBay or Amazon, you're going to pick some up anyway, some quality stuff. Boom. Let's talk about Midwest Model Railroad for a second. Stephen Atwell over there, a friend of mine. A lot of you know him and know he's just a great guy. And he's got his online store, some great selection, some great pricing. And to tell you, I don't know if he does this for everybody, but I know for the old regular guy here, when I've got something special I need, I let him know. He hooks me up. And I also had some tech questions, frankly, about some electronics. And boom, he hooked me up again. So He is also the same outfit that provided our gift certificates for the raffle we did for our 5K giveaway. So if you get a chance, head over and see him. Links in the description. Make it happen because I don't know, because I'm asking you to. How does that work? Boom, still over in chat while I trip over my tongue for an entire broadcast. Ron Piskel. Acrylics are water-based and will blend instead of keeping their original color. You need to put a different type of paint over each layer. Aha! Ask and you shall receive. Well, Ron, I have a thought on that, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I think it depend on what you're trying to do, because when I'm weathering a wooden structure, let's say, I may stain it first, or take my dark brown chalk paint, water it up really good, and rub it on there. But sometimes I like the effect of then taking my water-based black or gray and actually blending it in, so the paint colors do mix. So I would say generally, though, like what you're saying, that makes sense to me, and I hadn't thought of that before. But on some of the stuff I do, that's kind of the effect I'm after. But then again, I've gone on to tell you, not a master at this, which is why you're talking to me. Boom, moving back over. Michael Brashear says it's pelleted. Yeah, but what if he's talking about the urea trains. What if it derails in the rain? What happens? It's terrible. I'm just making jokes, people. That's as good as it gets this late in the broadcast. Hook up a brother. Anyway, Cloverdale Rail, Marcel is suggesting you go to a flea market and pick up the cheapies. You know, you can do that. Actually, Arnie's Trains, which is about 40 miles now from my house, they've got, like, you go out there, they got a couple of easy ups with just old stuff they want to get rid of. And you can pick up a freight car. Boom. Look, freight in the house. I bought it, $2. On my way home to destroy it. So anyway, that's fun. That's a good idea to buy the secondhand stuff. Now, for those of us, I almost included myself in the demographic of people that know what the hell they're doing. For those of you that are sort of more advanced, obviously you can just take a real freight car and make it happen. I don't mean a real freight car like, oh, I wonder if I've got an idea. Ron, Marsh, and you guys, you need to listen up. Down and dirty weathering contest, right? What if I took my camera and went to a siding where there's just some stranded random hopper lying there, and I just weathered the crap out of it right there, full size weathering. Oh, wow. Eric Hall over at IMRRO.com recently suggested that I start a Blowing Crap Up channel, which I'm considering. But how about a Steve Breaks the Law for Model Railroad channel? That would be awesome. I might do that. What do you guys think of that? Boom, over in chat. Wouldn't that be fun? Anyway, still over in chat. Train Guy 56 is saying distance to the hobby shop is all perspective. Closest one to him is 120 miles. You know, sadly, and around here I've just got Arnie's Trains that I know of. But to drive 120 miles, I'm normally at that store for 10 minutes or so. I just, I struggle with the fact that the inventory is becoming more and more limited, and you know, there's not much I get from that I can't get online. And I'm not dissing Arnie's Trains. I think it's cool that there's still a model railroad store, but 40 miles, unless I'm out in the Westminster area or something. And when I am, I stop in. I don't know that I'll make a special trip to do that. Still over in chat, getting close to the end of the broadcast, people. Let's see, any more weathering? Oh, Tim Hansen says, went through old freight car boxes last night, found lots of detail parts. Well, you know, you guys saw me do my What's in Steve's Toolbox sidetracked episode. I've been buying freight cars and stuff, details, for like, I don't know, for a while now. And it's kind of fun when I'm digging through and all of a sudden I go, well, I didn't even know I had this, or I forgot about this freight car that I have. You know, in fact, I don't even remember all the freight cars I have now because they've been in a box for 2 months. And the box is on the floor of the office right now, upside down. I'm afraid to look in it. Hey, Doug Hallberg makes a good point. Can't make vids from prison, Steve. Well, all right, that sucks. That was part of my plan, was to go there to, it's not San Quentin. It is San Quentin. Isn't it San Quentin? Where'd Johnny Cash go? To go hang out and do the Johnny Cash thing from prison. That's the best Johnny Cash you guys are going to get. I think I'm running out of steam here, people. Are we running out of steam? Are we done talking about weathering? Because that happens. So going back over to the main cam for a minute. Again, there's a couple of things that I want to cover with you just before I let you go. Okay, one of them is Ron over Ron Strange and Things doing his down and dirty weathering contest. Part 2, JC's Rip Track was last year's winner. He's got a lot of great stuff. He's going to be a guest judge. I've never hit myself in the chest with my own finger before. I haven't weathered a freight car, but as a point of encouragement, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm just going to see what I can get done. And if it looks like crap, laugh at me. I'm used to it. Whatever. Mock me, people. I love being mocked. Anyway, I'm going to give it a shot. I'll make a video. And but I want to encourage you guys just to take a shot at it. And again, back to the whole make a video and upload it. If you've got a phone, use your phone to make the video. And Ron has mechanisms, I believe, to get those videos to him if you don't actually have your own YouTube channel. But quite frankly, if you're here, you have a YouTube channel. So just upload the damn thing. Let Ron know where it is, and he's going to make a playlist of all those. So all of that being said, the bottom line to this whole weathering thing and kind of the ongoing theme of everything we do at It's My Railroad is encouragement. Don't let fear get in the way. Don't let what you think other people are going to think get in the way. Shove off. You got to put the cars together on the main line and leave the yard, baby, for adventures unknown, and just enjoy the crap out of this hobby, because that's what I do. And don't you all want to be me? Not really. Over in chat, boom. We got Containerman 68, Roy H saying, Train Guy 56, the only train hobby store that I go to is when I visit BNSF 6951 in Phoenix. That makes 5 miles for me. And it's Folsom Prison. Oh, I don't know. I'm not really hip on prisons since I've never been to one yet. Local Force, so many cars have graffiti in America, not much over here in the UK though. Yeah, because we Americans, we have absolutely no respect for other people's property. So we just spray the crap out of them. And some pretty graphics though. I just think it's disrespectful. Michael Brashears, I go through my box of stuff and it's like Christmas. Can't remember the stuff from years ago. Me too. Hey, Sparky 107 with a wrench is trying to call out a brother. As I previously indicated, this big Steamtown get-together on May 18th. I am working on trying to get there, but that happens to fall traditionally on the week that Cindy Brown, the First Lady of Model Railroading, and myself go on some big trip in celebration of our anniversary. And generally that trip is west of where I'm at, not east. So let's put a pin in it and I'll let you know. Ralph Renzitti. Hey, Ralph, baby. We were talking about you earlier. Merry Christmas, Steve. I'm here a little late, but I'm here. Ralph, we're going to hook you up to be on this show before Ron's contest is over so you can tell us some great techniques to weather stuff. If you haven't been over to Ralph's, he's got a Facebook page for that. he's awesome. Just click on it and make it happen. Moving further down, Joel says, wear a hoodie, Steve, when you graffiti a car. Well, that's what the real people do. I might as well. Although it's going to take a while with the airbrush, I think, to paint that whole car. I might have to refill the tank a couple times, but I'll see what happens. Joe G says, I only use my phone. Works pretty well. Boom. He wouldn't lie to you. He lies to me all the time, but he wouldn't lie to you. Ron Piskel, you can see real weathering at Steamtown. Copy that. Roger Sewer, good morning. Hey, Raj, how you doing, brother? Moving further down. All right, War Bonnet Trains. You've convinced me. I'm doing it. I hope you're talking about the weathering contest. And you and I will be hand in hand as we move along like that. Mike Lindsay, late to the party. Boy, that sucks. I wish the party could be longer, but it can't be, because as soon as this is over, I'm gonna go clear my throat and hang out with Mama and the Terriers. Got a lot of Christmas stuff to do, which brings me to this. You guys have been hanging out on this channel with me for 11 months. And I just can't think of any other place I'd rather be at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning than right here with the Model Railroad community. You guys help me have a lot of fun. You help me get my weekend started with a huge bang. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say Merry Christmas to you. If you've got issues you're dealing with this year for Christmas that aren't making it so merry, just try to focus on the stuff that is working, and knowing that somebody out there somewhere loves you and cares about you. You can reach out to them and get outside yourself, and you're going to see it makes a big difference. So there's my public service message from Track Smack and It's My Railroad. Merry Christmas to all of you. And on that, we're just going to have to say goodbye. Thanks again for being here today on Track Smack. You know, this is the kind of stuff we do. And if you're into that, why not just subscribe and then make sure to push the bell icon. Thanks again for being here. Make sure to share this video with somebody. And until next time, my name is Steve Brown. Again, Merry Christmas. Rail on, my friends.